Hanna Witherspoon has been a friendly face to many in the Murfreesboro community over the years, from volunteering with the United Way to cheering on her alma mater, the Blue Raiders, at almost every sporting event.
We are huge supporters of MTSU. We go to almost all the games of different sports, certainly all the football games, and basketball, men's and women's, volleyball sometimes, baseball, most of the baseball games, some of the softball games, and we've even been to a couple of soccer games.
But behind that bright smile and true blue outfit, there's a story of resilience.
No, I grew up in Chattanooga, but I have a long history before I moved to Chattanooga.
Hanna may be known well here in Murfreesboro, but her story doesn't even start in the United States.
Both my parents were born in Czechoslovakia, and they worked for a shoe factory in a town called Zlín in Czechoslovakia. And in 1939, the owner of the shoe factory decided to build a shoe factory in America. And so he chose 150 people, employees of his, to come to Belcamp, Maryland to start a shoe factory there. And my mother and father both were chosen. They didn't know each other. I mean, they worked in the same factory, but they met each other in the process of coming over here and on the ship.
But they didn't stay in America for long.
The man that started the shoe factory, the factory was called Bacha, and Mr. Bacha decided to start a shoe factory in the Philippines. And so my mother and father were chosen again to go to the Philippines to work there.
However, Hanna's parents could not have predicted what would be in store for them once they arrived to Manila. As the war with Japan intensified, sacrifices had to be made.
My father volunteered, he and 13 other Czechs volunteered with the American War Department. And the day they volunteered, they were in Manila. The day they volunteered, they were taken to Bataan in the Philippines. And they didn't even say goodbye to their families or anything. At the time, my mother and father were not married, but they didn't say goodbye to, their surrounding friends. They didn't have family there. Some people did have families there.
Hanna's mother was now pregnant and alone in an unfamiliar country with nothing but uncertainty surrounding her.
She, of course, was a single parent, pregnant most of the time that after he was taken. And she said that at one point when the Japanese attacked Manila, that they actually burned the house we were living in. And we were on a second floor, and she has told the story over and over again that she dropped me out of a window to the people that were running toward the water to get away from the fire. And someone was down, below, and she hollered, and she dropped me out of the window. And then she went out, and we actually lived in a foxhole for a few days because they burned our house, before she could reunite with some of these other people. And
with no shelter, food, or safety, nights were long in Manila, but they wouldn't last forever.
So my mother met an American who was stationed in the Philippines, and he was from Tennessee, from Pikeville in Bledsoe County, and they got married and while he was stationed over there. And so when his unit came back, he was in the Army, when his unit came back, my mother stayed in Manila and for a year, and then she left me with another family, an American colonel and his Filipino wife and their daughter.
At only 4 years old, young Hanna was ripped from the life she knew and forced to find a new normal with her new family. And the wait for a reunion would be longer than expected.
I left the Philippines the day of my 6th birthday, August 24th, 1948. They put me on a ship, and I came across. They had, I don't know, a stewardess or whatever they're called on a ship that saw that I got my meals and had my bath and went to bed and that kind of thing.
Hanna would learn to adapt in this country the same way she adapted to obstacles her whole life, with determination and strength. Now she looks back at her childhood with a smile, saying it shaped her into the woman she is today.
Well, I am so blessed, and I mean, I know that every day of my life, every day, from living homeless on the beach to living here in Murfreesboro is unbelievable.